Hello, let me welcome you at the last of the multi-server series. This time we would like to speak about the special accounting methods. Specifically, we would like to focus on the credit accounting. Starting first, as always, with a little application example, which in our case is a university with multiple sites and credit accounting activated. So in our case, we've got a university with three sites: the main campus, the student dormitory, and a library. In each of these places, our students should be able to use the printing services, copying and scanning, but they will be charged for use of those services. And this is pretty much a solution how you can achieve that because everything is managed through the central server. So, how does it work? Pretty simple question, a little bit more complicated to explain that. So let me just do it with a little example. Now, like I've mentioned previously, the whole system is managed through the central server, which also means that in this case, the credit balance is not managed by the local site, but by the central server. When it comes to the recharging options, it's pretty much same like on the site or standalone server, so you can use the manual one or one of the payment providers. There is actually one limitation, and that is the voucher, which is at this moment not available for topping up the credit on the central server, simply for that reason that the central server does not communicate with the embedded client. Now, how I would like to demonstrate it is through our user. Let's call him a Mike. This user is now connected on the main campus and wants to print some files. Now, on a central server, his credit balance is quite high. He has 100 euros on his account, but he will be printing a lot, so this amount will be reduced. Now, let me just explain how this actually works and what the user will see and what is actually happening in the background. So when the user logs in, he sees that he has the total balance of 100 euros. Now, if he starts to print, what happens in the background, based on the limits provided by the administrator, which in that case would be at 20 euros, the system will automatically allocate 20 euros to that site. The user still sees the full balance, but in reality, he only has 20 euros on his account here on the site. Why is that happening? I will explain as we will go on. Now, when the user is printing, and he's printing quite a lot, doing some copies, his local balance, the real one, is closing to zero. What the system will do, it will automatically ask for additional 20 to top up the balance here on the side, so the user can actually, go on with his operation. Then, when he finishes, and there is some remaining credit, the system will, of course, take that into calculation, and before it's all finished, it will just send the money back to central server. So, the actual cost of the prints, copies, and scan the user has done was 35 euros, meaning 5 euros are still remaining. What a system will do, it will automatically calculate everything and send the 5 euros back to the central server. Now, this might look pretty complicated, but that's a reason behind that. And that reason is that we want to prevent anyone going over their limit by just simply asking their friend to open a session at the same time on another server, which I will explain on the next slide. So now the whole calculation is done and the user sees the balance on both on the central and on the local side. Now, why this is so complicated, like I said. Imagine that we've got a friend and we just want to try to, bypass this and get a little bit more than it's allowed. So another user would connect to library and try to print and copy and scan as well. But this is simply not possible to go over the limit, over the balance, because each of these systems only gets first 20 and then it's topped up based on the needs, but only to the level of the maximum balance. So you can see there is no way to, bypass this and go over your balance. So that was pretty much everything about this type of installation. So let's just quickly sum this up. So what this is about. First important thing, this is about a credit accounting for the multi-server installation. And as everything in this type of installation is actually managed by the central server, including the credit balance, which is stored in the central server database. When it comes to the recharging options, you can expect pretty much the same standard as for the standalone or site server, which manages its own credit, because there's also a possibility to set the credit only on one individual site. What is also important to know that the MyQ voucher option is not yet supported at this moment. Now, there's also a related topic I would definitely recommend you to watch, and that's the cost recovery option, credit accounting, when we are explaining the credit accounting in much more details than I do in this video. So, thank you for watching this video, and let's see each other at another from this series or the whole product training.